The round of 32 ends today. After tonight, the round of 16 will be locked in. Messi, Salah, Luis Díaz, all in action today. And we will get to those games, believe you me, but first, spare a thought for this person. Buffalo Build, a viewer from YouTube who has got in touch on X. He says, I watch your videos every day. I base my picks on your picks. I need your 2-0 that you called this morning for Switzerland. As I record this, it is 1-0 at half-time to Switzerland. He correctly predicted Portugal 2-1, as did we. This is a huge game, and I think Portugal will edge it. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory to Portugal, and I'm going to back Ronaldo to get that knockout goal that he's been craving. I'm going to say a penalty for Cristiano in this one. And 2-0 Switzerland will win him $16,000. By the time this video goes out, you will of course know whether this has been a successful endeavor or not. Best of luck to you. I really do hope they can get that second goal in the second half. And it is Spain that will progress to face Portugal in the last 16. That's going to be tasty. Let's see who else is going to make up the last 16 with today's fixtures. First up, I think potentially the game of the day. Australia against Egypt, two teams that love to defend and hit on the counter. And we are seeing here Mo Salah, who suffered a hamstring strain against Iran. He came off just before the hour mark. He actually asked to come off, which is always a bit worrying. Scans confirm it is a strain, and the Egyptian FA have had him on an intense recovery plan. But can they get past Australia without Mo Salah? As I record this, it is 50-50. He will undergo a fitness test on the day of the game, so keep an eye on that one because it could be a pivotal part of this story. Now for Egypt, this is the first time they've ever got to this stage of a World Cup. They are out of the groups for the first time and they are unbeaten in their group, but they did concede in every game that they played. And for Australia, they won just once against Turkey and they failed to score in both games after that. They do have history, however, in getting to this stage of the World Cup. They've got out the groups in 2006 and then in 2022, where interestingly, they lost both of those years to the eventual champions, Italy and Argentina. If they go out to Egypt today, what does that mean? And for Popovic here, the Australian coach, if you are looking at player props, it is quite difficult to predict who he will play. They beat Turkey and then he benched both goal scorers in the next game. It didn't really pay off because they lost the next game to the USA, but it just shows that you really can't try and predict the team he's going to put out. Apart from the defence, certainly those centre-back, Harry Souttar, he's had a fantastic tournament. And the Australian defender Jordan Boss has said about Mo Salah, he said, off the field there's some respect, but when we get on the field, there is no respect. So a tasty matchup ahead. Our probability model is leaning on the Egyptian victory here, and of course, it may depend on Salah being fit or not. I can see this one being a pretty tight game given how both teams can play. The bookies are finding it a little bit tricky to call. 2.5 is the peak for Egypt to win this one after 90 minutes. I would be leaning on Egypt to qualify if I'm being completely honest. I think they've got a bit more quality. They are very good defensively as well, as Australia are. I think Australia will try and emulate that opening game in terms of the way they sat back, defended superbly. I don't think they will have to defend as much, if I'm being completely honest. Turkey had so much of the ball, so many shots on target. Turkey potentially, now that the dust has settled, a little bit unlucky given the way they did dominate the games they played. But that is history now. They've gone home already. Australia, Egypt, what are you thinking about this one? Let us all know, of course, in the comments. The winner will face Argentina or Cape Verde. Who knows? Crazier things probably haven't happened, actually, in the World Cup. We're going to cover that game next, but first, let's make some predictions on this game. Australia against Egypt. Just looking at cards for these teams as well, there's been a healthy number of cards in all of the games, and I think that United States game was probably the one with the most riding on it, especially for the United States. They got the win, 3 cards, and 4 for Australia. And for Egypt, we can see also a healthy number of cards in their games. We can check out the tables and see that there's been 14 cards total, and we can just get a gauge of the teams that do receive cards. 17 for Ecuador, incidentally, 15 total yellow cards this is. So this is for or against in the competition so far. Brazil especially, with that aggressive midfield and the aggressive press. But Egypt, 14 in 3 games so far. And the referee is Gustavo Tejera, who has a healthy number of cards, 4.76 per game, 3.34 in the second half. On average, he books both teams in 87% of his games. The previous game that he officiated in the World Cup was the 1-0 win for Mexico, with 2 cards shown. So my selection for the first game that we're covering on this episode of the Prediction Show is as followed. Both teams to score and both teams to receive a card. Pretty simple stuff, really. But I do see a big moment in this game for Australia. I do think they will get one against Egypt, but depending on whether Salah and Marmoush are at it, I think Egypt will get over the line here. My score prediction for this one is going to be 1-1, but I do think Egypt will go on to win this game, potentially 2-1 in extra time. Next up, time for the Magic Man, Lionel Messi. Just an update, as I record this, the game continues. It is now 2-0 to Switzerland, so as things stand, this viewer of the YouTube channel would be winning $16,000. Stop the count, referee. Now on to the champions against the debutants, and Argentina won every single game in their group. And Cape Verde are the smallest nation to ever qualify for the knockout rounds, and they got here without winning a game. 3 draws did it for them, 2 clean sheets, one against Spain, the other in the final game against Saudi Arabia. They almost won that game at the death as well. And they actually finished as runners-up in Group H. Incredible. We take a look at the rankings tab again to see that Spain and Mexico have not conceded a single goal in this competition. There has just been 1 goal past Emi Martinez in the Argentina goal, and just 2 in Cape Verde's net as well. Messi has scored 6 of Argentina's 8 goals at the tournament, and he has scored in 7 consecutive World Cup games. Tonight he is chasing an 8th. He even did that by being on the bench in the previous game. He came on, scored a free kick, easy as you like. So is this the night that Cape Verde go home? You have to expect it is. If we look at Argentina's form, they have won the last 10 games. They have not conceded many goals at all. But one thing that I wanted to flag, which I flagged in the game against Jordan, and it came in, is that they have been leading at half-time in every one of those 10 victories, and then they've gone on to win the game, of course, because their defense is so good. They get the lead, they keep the lead. And they have not lost a knockout game of football for 7 years, since 2019 in the Copa America semi-final against Brazil. And all of that leads into this. The price, 1.17 for Argentina to win after 90 minutes. The draw, if you fancy more heroics from Cape Verde and their defence, is at 9s with Unibet. How many saves will this man Vozinha make? He made 7 saves against Spain, and of course a clean sheet in 2 of his 3 group games. The president of Cape Verde, maybe tongue-in-cheek, has said that they can win this game 1-0, no pressure. But to win games you have to score goals, as Michael Owen would say, and if we look at the rankings here for goals scored, we have to scroll down a long way to find Cape Verde. They are the lowest ranked team that are left in the competition in the round of 32. No team has scored fewer than them. We can see Ghana also on 2. They also play today. So my first selection for this game, I'm going to put together a couple, and this one is just over evens. Cape Verde to get a card in the second half, as they, no doubt about it, backs to the walls, defending for their lives, and under 4 goals in this game. I can see this going exactly as the previous games for Argentina have gone. Apart from that Jordan game, because they obviously rotated in that game, it was a bit of a throwaway game given that they knew they were already top of the group. So this is the first selection. Let's take a look at the next. And the second selection, Argentina to win both the halves, is considerably better odds than for them to be winning at halftime and full time. So if you believe they will be winning, let's say 1-0 at halftime, do you also think that the game will then end 1-0, or will they go and get another goal, maybe another 2 goals as they rotate, as they potentially bring on Julian Alvarez in this game, or Martinez, depending on which one starts? It's a bit of a coin flip. And I think a trend with these types of games is that, yes, Cape Verde, they might defend superbly for the first 45 minutes, but eventually in these types of games, as we saw in the England game, Cape Verde will tire. They will be shattered after about 70, 80 minutes, given the way Argentina are going to move the ball. The same happened in the England game. They were fantastic, Congo, in the first half, don't get me wrong, but they were defending for their lives, and you cannot maintain that. So I think a pattern to watch out for, and there won't be many small teams left in the competition, to be fair, but the pattern is, the longer these games go on, the higher the probability that the bigger team is going to eventually win and score, because they've got the fitness, they've got the experience that unfortunately the other team just does not have. Argentina to have over 1.5 offsides in the game and over 1 card. You may have seen it in the sidebar, but there are quite a few cards in the games that Australia play, and of course their players are being fouled all over the place, and I expect that to be the same in this one. And my score prediction for this game is 3-0 to Argentina. Very, very comfortable. Maybe famous last words. Maybe Cape Verde can get another draw, but I just don't see it. Argentina have been, maybe with France, the best team at this competition so far. Messi is in, I'm not going to say the form of his life, because he has been incredible in different ways throughout his career, but certainly the way he's playing, the way he's impacting games, arriving late to the penalty area is very special to watch. He doesn't need many chances at the moment as well. Every shot is on target and almost certainly goes in. Next up, Colombia against Ghana. This is the first ever meeting between these nations, Colombia against Ghana, from Kansas City. Colombia topped the group thanks to that draw against Portugal, and this is their reward. They set up a game which they are favourites for. And to be honest, they didn't just keep them at bay. If we take a look at the shots, they had 24 to the 13 of Portugal, so they actually did play very well in that game. And I think if we look at the odds here, 1.57, the peak at the moment. I think that's a great price. I think Colombia have more than enough to win this game after 90 minutes. Ghana will try and apply the same tactics that they did against England, but I think where Colombia differ is that they will just go at Ghana and really look to attack down those flanks, whereas England were a little bit cautious. They lacked a little bit of creativity and directness. I don't think there will be such an issue for Colombia. Now then, if we're talking about shots, here's a look at Ghana's shot on target record, and there are teams at this World Cup that have had more shots on target in a single 45-minute spell than they have across the whole competition. It is the way they want to play. They want to break on teams. But even so, they are not managing that many shots. They are a bit fortunate, I believe, to be at this round of 32. They scored with their last kick almost of the game against Panama to win that game. Their second shot on target in the 95th minute. They drew with England. England did not have the directness and the creativity in that game that I think Colombia can have in this one. And then just one shot on target against Croatia as they lost that game. They were already on 4 points at that stage, of course. So who will do the business for Colombia? They have James Rodriguez, 34 years old, and still dictating things on the pitch. He has been really impressive, to say that he's not played much football. Someone that always impresses me when I watch him as well is, of course, Luis Díaz. He will be back, as will Luis Suarez, not that one, the one that plays for Sporting, and he is apparently back after a little bit of a fitness scare. So they have a very well-rounded attack, and then they've got players that can contribute from further back as well. Daniel Munoz has 2 goals at this competition already from right back. FPL managers know all about him. And for Ghana, they have lost both previous knockout games in a World Cup to South American teams against Brazil in 2006 and Uruguay in 2010. Is it third time lucky? And we're just going to look at the form guide for Colombia as well just before we put our predictions together. And with that said, here is the winner from yesterday's video. Your prediction was fantastic, as they always are in the comments. Don't forget to add yours for your chance to win as well. So, as we can see, every game that we're looking at, 6 out of 6 have seen a card. They have not conceded first in any of those games. They have not lost in the last 6 games. They have not been losing at half-time. They have had more shots than their opponents. They have had more shots on target. They have had more XG. They're in pretty good shape, Colombia. And that is why I am backing them to score more than once in this game. The odds are not great for this game, it must be said, so just over evens here. Colombia to score more than once. I am very impressed with them. I think people label most teams as dark horses, but I think Colombia may just be one of them, and I think they will breeze through this game, to be honest. Ghana offer very little going forward, and they have done regardless of the opponent in this World Cup and beyond, by the way. They've not won many games coming into this World Cup, and the pressure that they will be put under in this game will lead to corners for Colombia. And my score prediction for this one is a 2-0 victory for Colombia. Easy as you like. Let me know what you think will happen in this game by adding your predictions in the comments. And tomorrow we start the round of 16. We're going to put together a full predictions video for every fixture once we know the full card for the round of 16. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. It will contain, of course, predictions for the Canada-Morocco game and then Paraguay against France. And then on Sunday, we have Brazil against Norway, followed by Mexico against England. This is getting very, very tasty, and we can just keep going and see that we've got Portugal, Spain, United States against Belgium, and then more to come as we confirm who plays whom after tonight's games. If you've enjoyed this, please do like, subscribe, and add your predictions in the comments. I will see you in the next one.